Hi friends! Welcome to the third episode of Artreach at Home. I'm Miss Jenn, Artreach Orlando's curriculum director and lead teaching artist. Artreach Orlando is a nonprofit organization that provides free visual art education to communities all around Central Florida. We've created this video series to help children and their families explore the creative process, practice mindfulness, and most importantly, stay connected while staying home. Did you know that April is National Poetry Month? Do you all like poetry? I do too. So in this episode, I'm going to show you how to create an art project inspired by one of my favorite poems, called The Dream Keeper by Langston Hughes. Have you all heard of Langston Hughes before? Well, let's take a moment to learn a little bit more about our poet, Langston Hughes. Who was Langston Hughes? Langston Hughes was one of the most important writers and thinkers of the Harlem Renaissance, which was the African-American artistic movement in the 1920s that celebrated African-American life and culture. He wrote poetry, plays, and novels. His poetry usually had a positive or inspiring message. Now let's read The Dream Keeper by Langston Hughes. Bring me all of your dreams, you dreamer. Bring me all of your heart melodies, that I may wrap them in a blue cloud cloth, away from the too rough fingers of the world. In the first and second line, Langston Hughes says, your dreams and you dreamer. Who do you think he is speaking to? That's right, he's speaking to us. We are the dreamers, and he's asking us to bring him our dreams. In the third line, he says, bring me all of your heart melodies. What is a melody? That's right, it's a part of music or a part of a song. Why do you think he is asking us to bring him our heart melodies? Have you ever heard of the saying, that makes my heart sing? It's a saying we might use when we really love something, and we might really love our dreams. They might be very important to us. In the next line, he says that I may wrap them in a blue cloud cloth. Why does Langston Hughes want to wrap our dreams in a blue cloud cloth? Why do you wrap something up? That's right, you might wrap something up to keep it safe. Maybe it's something that's fragile. Have you ever imagined what a cloud might feel like? Do you imagine that it might be soft and fluffy? Or what does a cloth feel like? Does a cloth feel soft? Maybe if he wraps our dreams up in a cloud cloth, it can keep them safe and protect them. He says, away from the too rough fingers of the world. Why does he want to protect our dreams from the too rough fingers of the world? What does that mean? If we know that our dreams need protecting and are fragile, maybe that means that our dreams can get hurt. Maybe sometimes people are unkind or the world is unkind, and we need to take care of one another and take care of each other's dreams. What happens if we play with something too rough? That's right, if we play with something too rough, it could break. And so we want to make sure that we take care and keep our dreams safe. I hope you all enjoyed The Dream Keeper by Langston Hughes. Now I'm going to show you how you can create your own cloud-shaped accordion-folded book to record your dreams. Let's get started. To get started, we're going to need a few materials. 3 pieces of white paper, a pair of scissors, a glue stick, some crayons, or some markers, and a pencil. Okay, now that we have all of our materials together, we can get started. Let's just review our materials really quickly. So I have a pencil, I have some markers and some colored pencils. Now maybe you have some crayons at home to use, that's okay too. We just want some kind of a material to be able to draw and decorate and add color to our dream keeper. I have a glue stick and a pair of scissors, and then I have 3 pieces of white paper. Any kind of white paper will do. It could be drawing paper, construction paper, computer printer paper. You could also do this project just using 2 pieces of paper. So let's move some of these materials out of the way so that you can see our example. So here is our Dream Keeper book. It is an accordion folded book. It has a front cover and a back cover, and then these accordion folded pages in the middle for you to draw or record your dreams in. Now, I decided to make the cover of the book look like a cloud because in the poem, The Dream Keeper, Langston Hughes says that he wants to wrap our dreams in a blue cloud cloth. Now, I decided to keep my cloud just plain white, but maybe you want to use crayons or a marker to color in your cloud blue like it is in the poem. Or instead of using white paper for the front cover and the back cover of your accordion folded book, you could use a piece of blue construction paper. So you have a few different artistic choices that you can make for how you design your cloud. So to get started, the first thing that we're going to do is take one of these pieces of paper. And I'm going to take this piece of paper and I'm going to turn it so that it is going horizontally. And then I'm going to grab the left side of the paper and I'm going to fold it over to meet the right hand side like a card or a book. And then I'm going to make sure that I press the crease really well. Okay, so now I've folded my paper in half like a book or a card. And now I'm going to turn it so that it's going a long ways or horizontally and that it opens now at the bottom. Now we're going to use this first piece of paper to make the top cover and the bottom cover, right, the front and the back of our Dream Keeper. So we want to think about what a cloud looks like. Now, to get inspiration, you could look up some images of clouds online, or you could maybe look outside your window and see if there are any clouds in the sky, or you could just step outside for a moment and admire the clouds. Now, clouds come in all different shapes, but a nice way to draw a cloud is to give it some curved lines. That kind of lets us know that it's a cloud if we use some curved lines. Now, of course, your cloud does not have to look like mine. There really is no wrong way to draw a cloud. I'm going to use a pencil to draw my cloud on this paper. That way, if I make any mistakes, I can erase it. So let's go ahead and draw a cloud. We want to make sure that it fills up this whole piece of paper. You can see if I put my cloud on here, it takes up most of the paper. That way we have a nice size accordion folded book and we'll have lots of room to draw or write about our dreams on the inside. If you were to draw an itty bitty teeny tiny little cloud, then you wouldn't have a lot of room to draw about your dreams. So let's go ahead and draw a nice cloud. There's really, again, no wrong way to draw a cloud, but I'm going to make sure that I'm using some curved lines and shapes. Now, I like my cloud to kind of just be more of a one line at the bottom, but you could still make those puffy shapes at the bottom if you'd like. After you get your cloud drawn on your folded paper, the next step is to go ahead and cut this out. Now, when you cut it out, you want to make sure that you're pinching it and holding it with one hand while you cut with the other so that you get two clouds that are the same size and shape. Now, I don't want to see the pencil lines, so I'm kind of cutting just inside of my pencil lines, but if you want to cut right on the pencil line, if that's easier, you can do that. So I'm going to finish cutting out my cloud, and then I'll see you in a couple of seconds. Okay, so now I have my clouds cut out. I have two clouds the same size, right, and the same shape, and they line up. You want to keep them together, lined up like this. Now, for my example, I decided to give my cloud a little face. On one side, it's got like a little happy expression. And then on the other side, I decided to make it look like my cloud was sleeping and maybe it's dreaming. What do you think clouds dream about? Do they dream about birds flying through the sky or rain or rainbows? I would love to know what a cloud dreams about. So you could give your cloud a little face like I did, or you could just color it in. You could draw things on the inside of your cloud. You could make rainbows through your cloud. You could decorate your cloud any way you'd like. If you'd like to name your journal your Dream Keeper, you could write My Dream Keeper on your paper. This is just an example. You get to make your own artistic choices with your Dream Keeper. Okay, so let's think about how we want to decorate this cloud. I'm going to show you, just in case you're interested in making some faces, how I did that. I used a black marker to draw my eyes. I like to kind of turn my paper to make that eye shape. And I just drew an oval, and then I skipped a little space, and I drew another oval, and then I drew the inside of the eye and colored it in. And I drew the inside of the other eye and colored it in. And then I wanted to make my cloud look really happy, so I gave it a little smiley face like that. And then you can see on mine, I decided to give it some little heart cheeks because I just think those look very sweet. And so I just drew a couple little hearts right underneath of the eyes, and then I colored those in. Using a different color for the hearts this time. I used a lighter pink on my first one. I thought I'd use a darker one this time. And then on the back, if you want to see what I did. Oh, I have some lines on here. I must have drawn something on there earlier. That's okay. I can go back and erase those. But then to make my little sleepy face, I just sort of do like a little curved line and then another little curved line. And then I'll give it another little happy face. And then I can add those little heart cheeks like I did on the first one again. So I'll just draw a little heart, draw another little heart, and color those in. So remember, this is just one choice you could make for your Dream Keeper, but you could also decorate it any way you'd like. Maybe your little Dream Keeper has little raindrops underneath coming down from its eyes. There's so many different ways you could decorate your cloud. Okay, now that we have the front cover and the back cover finished, I'm going to show you how to make those accordion folded pages that go in the middle. Okay, I'm going to show you how to make those accordion folded pages that go on the inside of your Dream Keeper. So we're going to need another sheet of white paper, and we're going to take this piece of white paper and we're going to lay it flat in front of us so that it's tall like a building. Then I'm going to take the left side of the paper and I'm going to fold it over and in half to the right side, and I'm going to make sure that I really press my crease. Okay, now I'm going to turn it long ways or vertically, so horizontally, excuse me, so you can see it better. Now we're going to open it back up, and I'm going to use my scissors to cut it in half, following this folded line. So let's go ahead and cut this in half. Okay, so now I folded my paper in half and I have two pieces. So now I'm gonna grab my top cover and my bottom cover that are in the shape of a cloud. And I'm going to take my paper, and I want to make sure that this paper is gonna fit in the center of my cloud like it does on here. You can see it fits so nicely in the center. When I fold it back together, none of it is hanging over the edge. So we kind of have to line it up before we start to fold it to make sure. So I like to kind of lay it just right on top. It doesn't have to be on the inside, just right on top, and then kind of see, okay, my paper will fit here without hanging over. And then this looks like the lowest point that it needs to fit inside of. So I'm gonna make a little mark with my pencil on the paper, just like that. I made this little mark with my pencil, and that's the line I'm going to fold it on. So I'm gonna move this out of the way. So to accordion fold, we just sort of fold the paper back and forth, the same way you would fold paper to make a fan. Let me move this out of the way so you can see better. All right, so there's my little line. I'm gonna try to fold the paper. I'm gonna try to fold the paper down like this, creasing it on that little line. Okay, so I folded it down. I'll do that again. So there was my little line. And then I folded it down. Now I'm gonna flip my paper over and I'm gonna fold it down again so that it's the same size as my first fold. All right, there we go. Now I've made a couple of pages to go inside my book. Now I have this little extra right here, and I'm just gonna cut that off with my pair of scissors. Okay, so one piece of paper doesn't make very many pages for the inside of your book. You probably want a couple more pages than this. So I'm gonna get that other half of my paper, my big long piece, and I'm going to put my folded paper on top. I'm gonna line up the bottom edge together, okay? And then I'm going to make another line right at the top where that meets, so I know where to fold, because I want the next piece of paper, I want it to be folded the same size as this one. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to flip it over so that the pencil mark is on the back, and then I'm going to fold my paper down. I'm looking for the little line to fold it on. I'm going to press my crease. You can see my pencil line is right there. And now I'm going to flip it over and fold it down again, making sure it's the same size as the first one. And then again, I have a little extra paper, so I'm going to cut that off. Okay, get my scraps out of the way. So now I have two accordion folded, almost like little books, right, that I've made. Now I want to glue these two together so it can just be one nice big long folded book. Now you could use that third sheet of paper and fold it in half and make some additional long strips of paper that you fold up and just keep gluing those together. You can decide how big of a book you'd like to make. For my example today, I'm just going to show you how to glue these two together. So once you've made your two pieces, now we're going to glue these together. And to glue them together, I like to fit them inside of each other like this. because then I can keep my accordion fold and have more pages. So how did I do that? Okay, so I opened the top of my first book, and then I opened the bottom of my second book, and I slid the bottom into the top, and I'm gonna glue the top and the bottom page together using a glue stick. So I'm gonna get my glue stick. And when I glue the pages together, I like to just put glue on one side. You either put it on the top or the bottom piece, but just on one. And I want to make sure that I get my edges really well. So I like to go and follow the rectangular shape of the paper. And then I make a little X in the middle to make sure I have glue all over the paper. And then I'm going to make sure that it's lined up really nicely. That looks good. And then I'm going to fold this over and press it down. Okay, now I have my nice accordion folded book. I have all of these pages now from gluing those two pieces together. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to put the inside between the front and back covers. So I'm going to first take my top cover off. Maybe now this could be your top or this could be the top. I'm going to take my top cover off, and I'm going to put some glue all over the back of the inside pages, and they're going to go right here in the center of my book, and I'll line them up to make sure that I'm not getting anything hanging over the edge so that it'll look nice on the inside. So I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to outline my rectangle with some glue and then make an X in the middle. And then I'm going to flip this over and find the center of my book, making sure that I'm not hanging over my edges. And then I'm going to press it down flat. And now I'm going to put some glue on the top so that I can glue my top cover on. Again, glue all the way around the edges. And then a little bit in the center. Remember, when you use a glue stick, you don't have to roll it up very far, right? If we roll it up too far, too much will come out or it could even fall out. So you just want to roll it up a little bit. So now I have my glue, and I can line up and match the top cover with the bottom cover like that, and then press down with my hand. And now I have my accordion book. Look at that. Look at all the pages I have now. And it's double-sided, so when I flip it over, I can also write or draw on the inside. Now, there are so many different things that you could write or draw on the inside of your book. If you want to draw about your hopes and dreams for the future, you could. So there are two different kinds of dreams, right? There are the dreams that we have when we go to sleep at night, those images or almost like a movie that we see in our mind. We could draw or write about the dreams that we have when we go to sleep. Or you could draw about your dreams for the future. And those dreams are like your wishes or your goals. You could draw what you want to be when you grow up. If you have certain dreams or wishes for the world, I really wish for a peaceful world and a world where everyone is kind and everyone treats the earth really well and loves to take care of animals and nature. So I might draw some pictures about that. So there is your dream keeper. And so now that you've learned how to make an accordion book, The really cool thing is that you could make all different kinds of accordion books, not just dream keepers. So I'll show you another example of a very simple accordion book. So this one, I just cut some green construction paper into two same size rectangles, right? And then I made that accordion folded paper to put in the middle. And this one, you could open it this way from top to bottom, like we did our cloud, our dream keeper, or you could turn it more like a card or a book and open it this way for your different pages. So I really love nature, so I thought, oh, maybe I'll make this one into my nature journal, and I can draw and write my observations of the nature that I see in my backyard. So that's how you make an accordion folded Dream Keeper journal, inspired by the poem The Dream Keeper by Langston Hughes. I hope you all enjoyed this project. If you enjoyed this video, we would love to see your creation. You could share a photo on this video or tag us in a post on social media. And be sure to visit our website, where you can sign up for our newsletter and learn how you can help us in our mission to transform the lives of youth through the healing process of art. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon. Riley, did you make a dream keeper? Riley, is this your dream keeper? What do you dream about, Riley? Riley, you dream about food. Riley.